I'm super excited. Hi, I'm Timothy Maurice, your host for today. We have a power pack lineup. We are bringing you some of the best, boldest, brightest minds in energy and agriculture from America and Africa. And I just want to say, on behalf of our entire team from around the world, thank you, thank you, thank you for logging on, for registering, for engaging this movement. Today, we launch a movement. This is not about a this is not about an American agenda. This is not about a any sort of political movement. This is about an ideology around bringing countries together, bringing the diaspora together to innovate, to grow, to solve challenges, to ensure that a movement of like-minded people who are interested in energy, agriculture opportunities that we pioneer together. You know, indigenous technology, indigenous solutions makes me really excited. I mean, this is my 20th year on the continent, and we know that some of the most powerful innovations come from the soil, comes from ancient cultures. And that's, again, why we wanted to have this. We want to bring people together from different backgrounds who have solutions that are innovative and force us to think differently about bringing solutions to the energy and agriculture space.
Good morning to everyone in Africa and around the world. Thank you so much for joining this august historic moment in time where U.S. and the Africa economies of both agriculture and energy bridge and engage authentically. We look forward to this being a kickoff of a long-term, prosperous, mutually benefiting and profitable working relationship. My name is Keith Moore, founder of Innovation in Agriculture and Energy Opportunity Zone Summit, CEO of KDM and Associates, and the operator of the nation's only minority business development agency, Federal Procurement Center. It is my delight to be up early with you this morning. It's quite early, but I had to celebrate this inaugural event. And on behalf of EmpowerWorks, Simbongale, Kirsten, and Simpibwe, and Timothy, thank you so much for launching in the continent of Africa. Thank you so much for seeding the soil, and I look forward to the next 2 days. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Keith. We really, really appreciate the opportunity to partner to launch this summit here in this part of the world. Again, I am Timothy Maurice. For those who just logged in, I'm our international, one of our international directors that has been working and learning from our teams here on the ground in South Africa as well as in the US. And that's how I want you to see me today as we facilitate. I'm just trying to learn. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to understand cultures better. I'm trying to facilitate relationships. I want to make sure that people are connecting that would have never connected before, as I said earlier. I want to make sure that people see that this is not about an agenda, political agenda. This is about bringing innovative minds together for real opportunities to make some money. We want to make some money at this. We want to make sure that, you know, while we're solving problems, we're making money. We're celebrating. We're growing. I know you guys, you like things. It's one of my favorite sort of South African sayings. You know people who like things, right? And so if you're on and you actually like things, there's nothing wrong with liking things. But we have to make money to enjoy these things as well. So I feel wonderfully, wonderfully blessed to be able to help facilitate this session today. Thank you. Check out the chat group and then go to the site as well. There'll be plenty of resources, and do email us because I want us to be bold. I want us to be brave in how we connect with each other. I want us to be super clear that unless you reach out, unless you engage, there are resources everywhere. One of the biggest things I've learned in partnering with our global team is that, guys, there are resources everywhere to support both African entrepreneurs, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But African entrepreneurs, South African entrepreneurs, we've got a footprint across this continent to be able to help us trade, to invest together, to be able to solve problems together, to create solutions that would have never otherwise been created if we had not worked together. And so I believe in the extraordinary principle of Ubuntu. And I know that I'm better because of you. And the idea that our destinies intertwined, that our purposes are intertwined, that our missions are intertwined, that when we collaborate, we are better when we bring our voices together. And for any of you who are spiritual, I'm not about to preach, guys, just so you know, I'm not about to preach. But I will say this. If you've ever been in a church, for example, and you hear a choir that's in sync, when the music and everybody comes together, is something really, really beautiful about people who are in sync, when our hearts are driven towards a particular purposeful agenda. And I will say this, that one of the most important reasons why I get involved and I stay involved in this work as a researcher, as an author, and why I want to tell these stories is that there are people who have sacrificed. There are people who have been, who've laid down their lives for us to have these conversations. There are people who have had to ignore their children's birthday because they were traveling around the world. There are people who have lost family members and were not able to be there because they were trying to lay the groundwork for the diaspora. And so I don't take this lightly. I am very serious about the fact that we have to build on and stand on the shoulders of the giants before us. And there have been so many people that have sacrificed for us to be here. And so I want to give a shout out to all of the pioneers, from the women who marched in South Africa to make sure that they didn't have to carry passbooks, to fought for identities. I want to give a shout out to them, Winnie Mandela and all of those extraordinary pioneers, to the Walter Sisulus, to all of the pioneers in the East Coast, West Coast, some of the Yoruban tribes from West Coast in Nigeria, to the Eastern bloc of the continent, who have done extraordinary things to make sure that we're able to bring together diaspora, to give a shout out to all the civil rights movement in America and all the pioneers in America that you know have kind of positioned us to be able to have this conversation. And we have a right to be in this conversation. And there are trillions of dollars available. There are trillions available across the diaspora for us to be able to engage.